Hello, this is Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com. Hope you enjoy this video. Hello everybody, this is Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com. Welcome to a live play of Venture Forth. Right now we are actually testing to make sure that it is streaming, everything is looking good. Before we begin, just want to give you the heads up, we are currently playing the early access version of the game. That means what you see here and what we'll talk about tonight may not be indicative of the current version for those of you watching this recorded on YouTube. Besides doing a live play of Venture Forth, we have a special guest. The lead designer is joining me on Skype as we're going to talk about the game while playing it. So please welcome to our little chat here, Jeremiah.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great, Jeremiah. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Alright, so while I'm getting the Twitch stream and chat and everything loaded up, for the folks watching this, if you wouldn't mind just telling everyone a little bit about what Venture Forth is.
Venture Forth is a completely open world exploration based roguelite. So there are a few roguelike elements in it, but the main focus of the game is exploration. So it is pretty forgiving when it comes to death, because we want you to be able to explore, take risks, see what's down that dark tunnel.
And for those of you watching this either live or recorded right now, as we said, Venture Forth is in early access, but you are planning, I believe you said, an October official release for 1.0.
Yep, that's right.
Alright, so for tonight's stream / video, we're going to play through the game, see how many times I can die in a 60-minute period, and we'll hopefully have some fun. So, we'll load things up. We'll start from scratch. While we're waiting for the game to load up, if you wouldn't mind, Jeremiah, I know when we talked on the podcast, which for those of you watching this live or most likely recorded, it won't be up for at least a few weeks, but you talked about the inspiration for Venture Forth in terms of exploring a cave. So while I'm pulling the game up, if you wouldn't mind telling the folks, how did Venture Forth come about?
Well, I've always been very interested in exploration, that sort of thing. But the event that really pushed me to make this game, I had the great privilege of visiting Australia a couple years ago, and one of the places that I went when I visited Australia was these caves called the Jenolan Caves, and they are one of the biggest cave systems in the world. And so we took a few tours through these caves, and they are massive. I mean, these tours can be hours long. And it was actually the first night of being at that Jenolan Caves place that we went back to our room, and I actually started creating this game that night, even though I was on vacation in another country and I was only working on a tiny little netbook.
Awesome. A question from chat. Sorry, Wraith. I don't think there is a entry for Venture Forth on Twitch, probably because it is in early access. Unfortunately, I seem to have been logged out of the Twitch chat. I can still watch everything, but I can't text. It will probably take me some time off stream just to remember all my passwords. So we'll go with that. So as you can see right now, we are currently standing on a column here. Now. We talked about this on the Twitch, or I'm sorry, on our podcast, but the game is, I actually made that jump for the first time. The game is going to feature both elements of procedural generated and not so much set, but some constants, at least in the current version of the game. Is that right?
Yeah, so basically kind of the way that I'm designing the world is it's a combination of procedural generation and handmade elements, like you were saying. And basically, how that works is there's little like mini areas that I design and build, and then when the world is created, we take from this library of areas that are designed, put them into the world, and then procedurally connect them and procedurally generate creatures to populate the world and a whole bunch of loot to find, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. And from what we talked about on the podcast, one of the things that you're hopefully planning on adding after 1.0 is adding more procedural elements to the game.
Yeah. So currently, the world isn't fully procedural. I think when I actually release the game for the first time, what I'll do is have maybe like 5 different versions of the world that you can either choose from or just have it randomly select one. And I think that's actually a really good option, because it does give you some replayability option if you want to play a different world. But at the same time, you can go into a world that's pretty much the exact same world that one of your friends will play, that sort of thing. And so you can kind of help each other explore that.
Okay, I brought up the inventory screen to look at what kind of setup and what kind of system you have for the game, Jeremiah. And I know I was reading the Steam forums, and I think a few people do find this a little bit confusing. I know the first time I saw it, I was like a little bit lost. So, what exactly is this kind of setup screen that you have for the game?
So basically, it takes inspiration from that standard inventory system that Minecraft probably wasn't the one that invented it, but it was certainly the one that made it most popular, where basically you have an item in numbers 1 through 0, and you can select the item with the number keys or scroll through it, that sort of thing. And so, you can switch between your sword and your pick, that sort of thing. So this is basically that same system, except instead of choosing one item, you choose a full loadout. So instead of switching from your pick to your sword, you switch from your melee loadout to your ranged loadout. And so that changes not just your weapon, but also the armor that you're wearing, the arrows that you're using, that sort of thing. And so it allows you more customization. So customization beyond just the weapon that you have, but also in the stats that you're wearing.
So for those of you watching, you can see that I was messing around with, I guess, slot 5 with deciding what I want to have here and such. So I assume eventually, as you get further in, there's going to be a huge variety of items, so you'll be able to really just mix and match your build as the need comes up.
Yeah, and kind of like what you were saying on the forums, it is a little bit to take in, a little bit much to take in all at once. And I think what I'll do is limit the functionality of the menu a little bit at the beginning of the game, because the beginning of the game is fairly straightforward, and you can pretty much just roll with your default loadouts. But as the game progresses and gets a little bit harder, having that extra customizability to customize everything that you're wearing can really help in those more difficult situations.
I just shot a wisp in midair there. I know we talked about this on the cast, how there's elements in the game that doesn't do anything, but you can still trick the player with that.
Yeah.
So right now we are in the riverbed, and again, for those of you watching this is pretty much like the standard beginning of Venture Forth right now. I guess.
Yeah.
One question for you, Jeremiah. As you can see, we are essentially floating with a sword and a torch. Will there be an actual body or some kind of on-screen representation, or is this what you're planning on doing for the full game?
This is what the full game will be like. It's basically a design choice that I made from the very beginning. I mean, I started creating the game with that inspiration of exploration, that sort of thing. And so creating it first person, where you are the one who's going through this cave and exploring, is definitely really important to me. And so so I definitely wanted to make it first person. And I felt like creating the actual body itself wasn't really needed, and I actually kind of like that visual style. I know that it's not everybody's favorite kind of style, but I like it. There are a lot of people that do like it. It's actually very rarely do I ever get asked, "Oh, are you going to add hands?" So it seems to work fairly well.
Oh, and apparently there's something getting in the way here. So we have our first little section. Now, I will say one thing regarding having some kind of on-screen persona or on-screen representation. I found that it's easier to do platforming with that. Just having something so I can see my feet or my legs in relation to the ground. Because when I was playing this earlier, I did have some trouble, and most likely I will fall into the lava at least once here. In terms,
that's a good point. What if I added just like a little circular shadow underneath you?
Yeah, just something to say, here's where you're standing, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point. I'll think about doing that.
What the? Oh, good thing I have a potion here. Take a swig of the potion.
Yep.
Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can make it across and not get killed. This would be very embarrassing for me if, like, on right on live, I get killed just by falling. Alley-oop.
Dying is a big part of this game.
Yes.
Lots of things are learned through dying, but trying it again is just a quick load away.
One very important lesson of dying: don't touch boiling hot lava. That's always a very important lesson here. Now, as you can see, the controls are definitely on the arcade side. We're not dealing with super realism. How did you, I guess, balance or set what you wanted in terms of like the feel of the game?
Yeah, so that's definitely been a process that's kind of been iterated on. Like one of the things that you're talking about, it's not very realistic. It's a little bit floaty, but I think that is beneficial because it gives you a little bit more freedom in like how far you can jump. Because like if the gravity was realistic, you definitely wouldn't be able to jump as far unless you were jumping like 100 feet into the air. And so it allows you more freedom of movement, which I think reinforces that whole focusing on exploration part and that sort of thing. And so there's various little things that I've actually tried to do. Like one of the really small things that nobody would ever notice actively is like, for example, when you jump and land, there's like a little bit of a recoil where you kind of get closer to the ground and then recoil back up as if you're like actually landing on your legs and coming back up. And like it's not something that anybody would actively notice, but it definitely makes a difference in how your jump feels. It makes it like feel like it has more weight. Yeah,
you can sort of see like that brief second. And while you were talking, apparently everyone in this room decided to come and say hi.
Yep.
Now, I didn't ask this. I'm trying to notice it right now. But do you have infinite arrows, or am I dealing with an actual arrow supply right now?
You do have limited arrows. When the bow is equipped, your number of arrows is in the lower left-hand corner.
There we go.
I've thought about putting that arrow count next to your crosshair. What do you think about that idea?
I would say yes, just because I'm not thinking about looking in the bottom left while I'm busy fighting, so it was I didn't actually notice that. Now, if I was just walking around, I probably would have noticed that, but when I'm in like the heat of the moment, as with all those things, I didn't actually notice that until you pointed that out.
Yeah.
What is... I see something good over there now. Over there is not where I came in. I saw that giant green thing was coming at me.
Yeah, the giant green protector.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually what dropped that special item over there.
Alright, now if I can get out of this room...
So, that special blue bow over there is actually, it's one of the new items that I've added to the game. It doesn't have any unique abilities yet, but I will be adding some special underwater abilities to it. It's called the Kraken Bow. But currently, I've been working with an artist, and he's developed a lot of 3D models for the game, and so currently I'm in the process of incorporating them all into the game, and then once all the art is in there, I'm going to go back and add the special abilities to these unique items. So you get to see what the art is for now.
All right. What does agility do in terms of like how your character responds?
Agility affects your run speed.
Okay.
So it does not affect your attack speed.
And does strength affect your damage per second?
Yes.
Okay.
So strength is kind of like a multiplier on your base damage.
All right. So
if you have 0 strength, there's no way for you to do any damage.
Let me see. Everything is still looking good there. Now, where was that exit? There we go. We talked about this on the podcast, but in terms of game length, what are you aiming for with Venture 4 for like a typical play?
In terms of what?
Play length. Like how long should a single play?
Oh, play length. For one playthrough of a world, probably if you've never played before and you're figuring it out for the first time, probably around 10 hours. Yeah, like currently this is a demo world, which is a little bit shorter, and it seems like players, for the first time playing through, it takes them about 4 to 6 hours to get through it. So, yeah, something around there. And then with the procedural generation and different worlds, you can continue to play that sort of thing and experience more areas, that sort of thing.
Trying to show off the different weapons. Did I just get hit by something?
Quite possibly.
Yeah. There you go. Die, skeleton. And as you're seeing, there's definitely... we talked about this also in the cast. There's action-adventure elements in the game. So we will eventually, hopefully in this play, show off some of like the special items you can find. If we look at the map, and it was pointed out, you can make out like little blue treasure chests.
Yeah, so those mark special items that help you unlock more parts of the world. So they're typically items that have some sort of special ability that allow you to access more parts of the world.
Oh, let's see what we got here. Another torch. Now the game mentions something about being able to upgrade your torch. Or is upgrading items a part of the game now, or is that going to be added in at some point?
So upgrading is a fairly simple thing. Basically, if you find a duplicate of an item you already have, it'll upgrade it and make it more powerful. So like you picked up a torch here, and so it upgrades it and makes it Cave Torch +1.
Uh-oh. I seem to be stuck in the water. Huh. Oh, I think I'm dead. Oh, wait. Trying to get out of the water here. Is swimming just by pressing space rapidly, or am I...
that will allow you to surface. So it looks like you're kind of stuck in a waterfall, so if you move to the side, you should be able to escape the waterfall.
Okay. Whew. It's kind of hard to tell just because of... Oh.
Yeah. So I think with all the streaming and that sort of thing, the game is running at a lower performance. So the game has actually switched to low settings.
Yeah.
And so things are a little bit more difficult to see what's going on. So yeah, just as a note, anybody who's watching, this is on very low graphics settings, and you can kind of see the settings in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, we were running stream, Skype, and recording at the same time, so that can of course cause a lot of tricky stuff there. Let's see. So I've unlocked. There we go. So you can see Cave Torch +2. Did I pick up an additional bow? No, not yet. I'm sure I picked up Up there's bow. Oh, bow of lightning +1.
Yeah.
So we'll try that out. Oh, no,
And
wait.
just as a note, one of the things I added to the option menu is a target FPS. So if you're somebody who like really wants there to be smooth movement frames, like 60 FPS, you can up your target FPS to like 55 or something and then the game will prioritize having a higher frame rate. Or if you would rather the game play a little slower and look a little better, then you can lower the target frame rate to like 30, and then it'll automatically adjust your settings based on what your preferences are.
Alright. So I'm trying to figure out how to get out here. I can see the potion is down there, the potion counter in the bottom right.
Yeah.
So where is the exit?
So I don't think that you. So remember
Okay.
that pool of water you dove into in the middle?
Yeah, it looks like there is something important in there.
Yeah, you should go in there.
And hopefully not drown this time. Alright,
Yeah.
well, going back up.
So yeah, that first time that you went in there, you actually it's kind of a magical waterfall that fills from the middle. So there's a pool in the middle, and then it waterfalls over the side, and you actually got swept away in the waterfall. So you fell down the waterfall and then were in the pool underneath the box in the middle.
Alright. We just got the dive tank. And a new bow. Alright, we'll take a look at it. Oh, and some armor.
Yeah, and I just changed the art for the dive tank, so it's a little bit more magical looking than what you might expect from a dive tank.
Alright, so if we come back over here. Okay, so we have this armor lowers my health, raises strength. Come on, you. Underwater breathing. Good. Okay, so we have to pretty much equip that. Okay, 88 defense. Oop, come on. That's better. Now, does the dive tank remain equipped, or do I actually have to put it on to get its effects?
You have to be using it in your hand in order to get the effects.
Okay. So there's the sword we're going to try. And then down here I want to use the torch. Oh wait, is this a two-handed sword? Is that why? Yeah, two-handed sword. So switch back down there. That doesn't do anything. So if I want to do breathing underwater, we can make that go to number 2. There we go. So as long as I have my bow out or number 2 out, I can now breathe and swim underwater. Okay.
Let's see here.
There we go. Okay, so I have to use the button for that. Got it.
Yeah, so basically you can use it to you can activate it to refill your breath bar while you're underwater.
Alright. So I know there's a section back in the beginning that we have to dive to. I assume we're going to be going back there unless there's something else here.
Yeah, there's a few places, there's a couple places that you've passed so far that you can use the dive tank on.
As we talked about on the cast, there's definitely you definitely want to have like that metroidvania aspect to the game.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of like I was talking about in the podcast. The way that I'm approaching the design of these little mini areas is the first time that you reach an area, you won't be able to get everywhere in the area. And so as you acquire items and abilities that allow you to reach more places in the game, you can go back to areas that you previously went through and reach new places from those areas. So as you explore the world, it's definitely not linear. It's more of a web that you go back and forth and discover more and more with each area.
Now, one thing I just noticed, because I have the dive tank equipped, it's not letting me do the actual aim with the bow and arrow. Is that intentional?
So that bow and arrow is, that bow and arrow is a faster shooting bow and arrow, and because it shoots so quickly, it just kind of auto fires.
All right.
So you can see that it shoots very quickly.
Okay.
And so a lot of, that's a one-handed bow, which I'm actually just about to replace with a crossbow that I have now, which makes a little bit more sense. And so a lot of the one-handed bows just automatically fire.
Okay. So we got some underwater exploration here. And again, if we didn't get the dive tank, there would be no way of doing this, essentially.
Well, there is actually a way to explore this area without the dive tank and without dying, but it's very difficult.
Alright, well, I got another mysterious item. The game doesn't pause when we're on the inventory screen, right?
Yes, it does,
okay.
Actually.
Okay, so we can take a second.
So you can safely go into the inventory and figure out what you're doing.
Alright, so anti-gravity. The gatekeeper, rapid fire, two-handed bow.
Gatekeeper definitely is fun.
The failed bow. Let's see, chest armor of pain. Now, when we die... hi, XP Coin, we have a question. Is this game built in Unity?
I actually built the entire game engine from scratch using C++ and OpenGL.
Alright. What I was about to say. Is, like, if I die, do the major upgrades disappear, or what happens when you die in the game?
So, when you die, it resets everything to the last time the game saved. And the game will only save when you're in a place that it deems safe. So, it's never gonna save right before you die, and then you're just completely screwed. So some of the rules that it uses where it limits you saving is you can't save when you're underwater, you can't save when you're in the air, you can't save when a creature is staring at you, hitting you in the face, that sort of thing.
Alright. Now I saw, if we can get the map just right, I see another treasure chest below, but I can't tell that's part of this room or the room below it.
So that is part of this room, but spoiler alert, you can't actually get it yet.
Aww.
You have to get another item first.
Alright, well, we got the... Can still do some exploring. Oh, there we go. I will say, I do like being able... I think I like having the option to, like, sort of aim, you know, like, hold and aim with the crossbow. I mean, with the bow and arrow. Just seems to be a little easier to actually hit things with it.
Yeah, so the main reason why I had it auto-fire is because when the bow starts firing that quickly, you can't actually shoot it fast enough by holding down the button and letting go, and so it actually does less damage. But if you feel like that bow is limiting you by firing automatically, I could just lower that cutoff point to a faster rate so that you can still aim with that speed of a bow.
Alright. Another question for you from Chat XP Coin. Is this just you working on the game, or are you doing this with a team?
So I'm doing all of the design and programming, and I'm contracting out for art, sound effects, and music. So I'm working with a composer, a sound designer, and an artist.
Alright. So the other area that I need to go to is back here. And while I'm heading back to the start, oh, one other thing, I know this was brought up on the Steam forum that I want to ask you about. When you first get to this area, like you have to drop down, you get hurt. Like there's no way to avoid the fall damage. Is that something you're thinking about changing or doing something with? Like right here, I think it is.
Yeah, I know the area you're talking about. And I think it's interesting that that's such a contested point, because the amount of damage that you take is very small.
Yeah.
And you're given a lot of healing potions at the beginning of the game. And basically, the reason why I put that there is so that at the very beginning of the game, you're forced to take a fall that hurts you a little bit, so that you know, hey, yes, there is in fact fall damage in this game.
Okay. The teleporting crystal here, that doesn't like reset me, it just sends me back to the beginning?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the little ripple effect there. Alright, let's see.
Yes. Yeah, Perlin noise is fun.
Okay. Now that I can breathe underwater, we can actually get to the bottom here, hopefully. It is a little bit hard to see, but again, I think we can also say we are dealing with medium graphics. Okay, there we go. Okay, got something. Helm of Lightning.
Yeah, I'm currently watching the stream, which is probably 20 seconds behind you or something, so I'm like trying to guess where you're going to be. Oh yeah, so it looks like the procedural generation of the game had the bottom area of that intro water pool actually break into another part of the world.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always connect there, but there's no problem with it connecting there.
There's one. Chest armor of pain. Let's do that. We have the bow, the dive tank, village arrows. Alright, let's see what we got here. No, there was that other path we have to get to. For people watching this right now live, or when it gets put up on YouTube, in terms of what's in the game now, in terms of length, we talked about what you're aiming for, but in terms of like this version of the game or the early access, what is like currently like available in terms of content?
So this demo world, which is a little bit smaller, from the people that I've watched go through it, it usually takes them about 4 to 6 hours to finish.
Okay. There you go, a little light may help. I know there was a way. The challenge, of course, is finding it. Come on. I hear him gasping for air. Wait, is this it over here? There we go. Now we can go over here and hopefully not die on the way. Come on, I see a sword. Oh, good.
Yep, things start getting intense when your dive tank starts getting low.
There we go, now we can actually see. New sword. The Master Sword. I think we'll get that bad boy equipped. I must find the hearts. Alright, we're getting little messages here.
Alright.
Come on. I think we're getting pushed back by the river, maybe?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a current on that river.
Now, where are we? We came down. I think we've turned ourselves around here. There's the abyss. That's where the lava was. There is something right there. Oop. The only question is, how do we get up there for it? Guess I can try using that potion.
Mm-hmm.
So, we just need to get back up here and... Okay, so we're back over here. Now we just have to turn ourselves around. Value. Oh, I should actually get that potion equipped. And as you can see now, right now there's a max of 7 slots. Are you thinking about expanding or keeping it at like 7 essentially loadouts?
I can easily expand that to the full 10, but I feel like 7 pretty much covers most use cases. Like playing through the game, a lot of people will have like a couple melee loadouts, a couple ranged loadouts, a couple utility loadouts, and generally speaking, people aren't really needing more than 7. But if that becomes an issue, I might raise it. 7 seems like a pretty good number, though.
Alright. There we go. Anti-gravity. The potion and the torch on its own thing this time, just to make it easier. And now, get out of there, you. Fire wisp was in my way. Alright, and let's see if we can actually... I just have this feeling that I'm going to fall into this lava and get killed at some point. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
Yep.
Now, let me see. So, the treasure or whatever is going to be over there.
So you can force it to do an autosave if you press F5. But again, you have to be in a quote-unquote safe area.
Okay, well, I guess now is as good a time as any to try this out. Okay, so I can glide, and if we combine gliding with this, oh, I'm not gonna have enough. How long does this potion last for, or is it permanent?
It's a permanent potion. The gliding uses energy.
Okay.
Stamina.
Alright, cool. And we got the Staff of Ra. So, we come back over here. Staff of Ra dispels illusions. And I know you were talking about this on the podcast, so thank you, Rafe. You love your lava. He was watching me play Terraria the other night, where I picked I just basically accidentally hit the wrong block, and I just let a ocean of lava swept over me.
Yep.
Alright, so...
I played a lot of that game, too.
So we don't need this potion anymore. Is there a trash or an option to throw out items you don't need?
No, there currently is not.
Okay. So we'll put that baby on here.
It's something that I might add. I mean, it would be fairly easy to add.
What the hell? Oh, that's...
I don't think
weird.
that it's very necessary, though. Because items that you just never use, they just automatically get pushed to the back of the list as you use other items.
Oh, this is a good thing down here. There we go. Up there's more lava. And there's even more lava. So, we won't be coming this way. But, we did talk about this with the Metroidvania-like design.
If I'm predicting you going down that hole as I'm watching the stream. There is a place that you can open up there with the Staff of Ra.
Okay, well, we'll have to... What the heck is this thing now? Uh-oh. And away we go. Alright, so let's try... This is the other side. Let's see what happens. Does the staff hurt me when I use it?
Yeah, I think it takes 1.5% of your health.
Alright. What I was about to say, we talked about this with the Metroidvania-like design, how good Metroidvania... Oh, wait, ran out of energy there. So saying, good Metroidvania, basically it makes you play the game differently depending upon what you have available. And this is, I think, a good example of that. With we now have this glide ability, which is going to affect motion. We have the dive tank, which affects breathing underwater.
Yep.
And now we have this. So let's see.
Yeah, like as you get movement items like this, it makes certain areas in the game a lot less scary, shall we say. Like when you have the dive tank, areas with large bodies of water are a lot easier to navigate. You don't have to worry so much about suffocating. When you have the glide ability, areas with sparse platforms to land on here and there are not are a lot less scary because you can hit the platforms a lot easier now that you can glide. And so it just starts opening up the game and allowing you to explore more and more easily.
Well, we almost had our big lava fall there, but fortunately the glide did save me. I picked up tactical nukes, so that's good. And I believe I know the other area, as we were talking about earlier in the stream, where I'm going to need to go. One suggestion, let me just double check. It sounds like there, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I use the Staff of Illusion, and if there is something secret or if there isn't anything secret, it seems to make the same like sound effect.
So, if it does uncover something, it will make a sound effect for that.
Okay. Just want to make sure there.
But it does make the same activation sound effect as well, but there's an additional like secret uncovered sound effect.
Alright, so we have some things to look at down here.
Maybe I should make that sound effect more obvious.
Yeah, so I was thinking it was kind of hard to tell if I'm just using it. I guess another question, what is like the range like on the staff? Like, is it like all around me? Is it just like a limited area?
So it's about, I think, a 15-foot radius around you, maybe a 20-foot radius around you.
I should switch to the... there we go.
Essentially, if you are, if you're looking at something in front of you that's an illusion, which you can actually tell even when the Staff of Ra is not equipped, like it is a little bit transparent. But if you're looking at it in front of you and you use the staff, it'll work.
Okay. I think it also is a little trickier again because I am playing and the graphics keep changing just to make it added difficult, just again because of all the streaming. Let's see, do we have anything here? Let's see what we got this time. Volcanic key. And we should try to find a way up. Does the teleport item work like all the time, or does it have like a limited use?
Works all the time.
That's good to know right now. We may be needing that in like the next...
Well, actually, that's a lie. It doesn't work all the time. But
there we go.
It works almost all the time. There are certain times where it's disabled
Mm.
for purposeful reasons.
Okay, so right now, the only area that I can think of that I have not been to is where that big ice golem was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, let's get out of there. We were in the big room with the waterfall. We took care of that. I guess I could use my bow. Okay, that's the wrong one. It may be time to do some, hopefully, do some sniping. But first, we need to get back over here. While I'm heading back there, another question for you. As we said with the Metroidvania-like design, it is all about figuring out effective items or mechanics you want to give to the player. So, for you, Jeremiah, with designing the game, how did you decide, like, what kind of items you wanted? Like, what would be, like, the limit of what the player can and can't do, essentially?
Like, are you talking about in terms of these gating abilities, that sort of thing?
Yeah, like, deciding to give the player, like, a quadruple jump or X-ray vision, you know, stuff like that.
I mean, one of the types of gating items that I really like to add is movement items. So things that allow you to jump higher, jump farther, dive more, that sort of thing. Because I think that those are really satisfying types of gating items. Because they're very intuitive. You know, you see a platform that's far away and you're like, oh man, I can't get there. And then suddenly you can jump and it's like very intuitive, like, oh, now I can get to that place that I couldn't get to before. And so I really like those types of items. And then, so those are like some of the items that you might get a little bit earlier. And then as the game progresses, you start getting more magical items, that sort of thing. And so, I mean, in determining what these abilities are, I've taken a lot of inspiration from other games like Metroidvania and Zelda and that sort of thing. And Rogue Legacy.
Just like how I just got brutally killed while you were describing that.
Yes. The ice golem.
Oh, jeez. Oh my goodness, you're going to see that in 5 seconds.
The ice golem is a good bit more difficult than the previous creatures that you've encountered.
I hope you got a kick out of that death. That was a good way to die.
Yep.
Alright, let me see. I didn't take a look at the key we got. Opens a volcanic key.
Those crystal projectiles that they throw at you have a lot of knockback.
Yes, they do. Let me see. Where's that sword? There we go. Well, it's going to lower my health. Actually, lowering my health that low may not be the smartest thing right now. We got the new torch. But I think what I will attempt to do, now I have that as a range, where is that two-handed bow? That's one two-handed bow. The insane, I guess we'll do the gatekeeper and see what that will do. Probably should equip. I do like the idea of essentially having these slots be build.
Yeah, that's a good word. They're full builds.
Wraith is loving my death by ice/lava there. You wouldn't see that in a lot of games, dying from both ice
death by fire and ice
at the same exact time.
Yep.
Now, why is my health lower? Okay, there we go, because this... Oh, because the Master Sword is improving my health. I should probably put that on so I'm not at ridiculously low health. And there's one other thing I wanted to do. Oh, yes. And it would be a good idea to equip my potion. Oh, wait, I can't equip the potion because it's one-handed. So, take a swig, and we'll see if we can snipe that golem, or get flown back who knows how many feet. Oh, jeez. Okay, that was rapid.
Yep.
Alright, you.
It has rapid fire. It's a good way to use up all of your arrows.
Yes, it is.
So it does kind of do insane damage,
Ooh.
but you can only use it for a short period of time.
Yeah. Oh! Like that. Almost had her. Are you thinking about having a... Well, I guess this is a good point to ask. Are you thinking about having like a shield or a means of blocking attacks?
Yeah, so there currently are shields in the game. I want to revamp the shield mechanics a little bit, so I haven't really been featuring them very much in the current state of the demo. Because honestly, the way the shield mechanics work right now makes them not very good. But they do exist currently, and I will be changing how they work. So they'll kind of be this. Essentially, the items in the game will fall under one of four, well, maybe five main categories. You've got your melee swords, and your ranged bows, and then there's going to be a number of magical staffs that each have special abilities. And then there's going to be shields, and then utility items like your keys and your potions and your stabs of raw.
One other question.
Although technically those are magical stabs also.
One other question for you, Jeremiah. There's that symbol you can see to the left of the 1 slot. I assume that represents like your health, strength, agility. Is that what that's for?
Yeah, so if you open up the equipment menu, you can see that zooms into... it expands to the full size of the star, the stat star.
Alright, so you can see we have the swimsuit.
Yeah, currently, the swimsuit art is a little questionable. The wetsuit.
What do we have here? I see more treasure down there. For right now in the game, Jeremiah, all the treasures are like we're seeing around the map. Are they accessible in this version?
The blue treasure chests that are on the map? Yes, those are all actual items to pick up.
Okay. So it looks...
They are physically linked to the item, so they will not exist if the item doesn't exist.
Okay. And one other question, I'm not sure if we asked this earlier. The items that are in the game, I think we did mention this on the podcast, but all the items that you have, especially the game-changing ones, these are set items in Venture 4th, right?
You mean as opposed to procedural items?
Yes.
Right. That's correct.
Alright. Just wanted to mention that for people watching. Let's sip some stuff in the dark there.
And for example, one thing to note about the golems,
oh dear God,
as you may or may not have noticed, they don't actually attack you until you attack them.
Now you tell me. Oh, we got another upgrade.
Once you anger them, they remember you.
Apparently he has his own legendary bow there. Well, we're getting there. We're 75% done. Oh, I got something. I got an achievement, specialist. Is that for dying too many times?
Specialist. I believe that's for killing a certain number of creatures.
Alright. Blood helm, chest armor of pain, radiance. I don't think it's saved when I picked up the thermal suit, which I assume is going to let me go into lava or survive a little bit longer in lava. Now, the question, though, is... I believe I am going the wrong way, maybe? Nope, this is right. I think. We'll know if we see something really bad. Yep, so...
Yes.
This is the right area.
So you're currently in the nest?
Yeah, and we just made it to the cathedral.
Yes.
There's Alec. Oh, hello. Oh. bumping me is not, thankfully, is not hurting me or pissing them off.
Yeah, right.
Alright, so...
They just kind of think you're a little weird is all.
Don't mind me, boys. Okay, so now we have the thermal suit, and that makes us immune to lava, which means those paths we were talking about earlier are now... the hell was that? Are now accessible. And this guy is apparently going nuts. Uh-oh. With shooting arrows at me. We'll have to sneak around.
Yeah, you may or may not recognize what weapon he's using.
Yes. What the hell? Apparently this guy is stuck in the... Oh. That's it, buddy. Revenge.
Oh, that's interesting. He was shooting you while you were on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Above him. He's not supposed to do that.
Alright,
well,
so
whatever.
where are we now? Hey, get out of there, you. And I will check. Probably a good idea to get some air. We'll check the time and like once I get to hopefully a safe spot.
Mm-hmm.
And as we said, for this version of the game, for those of you watching this, this area, like if you decide to reload the game or pick it up, is going to be largely the same. There will still be some procedural elements, but when the game is out in 1.0 and you've worked on it, you are planning on giving more worlds, more variety to it.
Yep.
Alright, let's see what we got. I should probably...
Yeah, it should show you your playthrough time on the equipment menu as well.
Alright, let's see. Oop, wrong one. Equipment time. Oh, there it is. 53 minutes. Alright, so I think we'll go... I guess the one last thing that I do want to look at then is let's try out... Oh, we're back in the riverbed. Oh, we're back here. Yep. So, there is the steps. Wait. There we go. There's the abyss. That's where the lava was. So, let's try doing some lava bathing and see what happens. And that, I think, will be a good place to wrap things up. I will say I've gotten a lot further with you on than I did before I played. So, that's good. So, we have thermal immunity. Yay. But we still need to breathe underwater. Or breathe under lava, I should say.
Yeah, you can get an achievement by suffocating under lava. And the achievement is, yes, breathing is still a thing.
Alright, so we got here. There's our little abyss. I know there were paths as well. Well, we might as well go for the achievement while we're here. You know, for science and all that.
For science.
Ow. The question is, am I dying from being burned, or am I dying from just not breathing? There we go. Achievement. Breathing is still a thing.
Yep.
Alright, let's load back up. And the only place I think left we'll try exploring is those two paths. Oh, there's a lava bat. Go away, you. Went the wrong way, and I should actually... I think this should be good. Wait, one thing here. My completist in me is demanding that I put the swimsuit on while I'm breathing, and the thermal when I'm in the lava, you know, for organizational purposes.
Yeah, I've seen a number of people die because they're using the thermal suit, swimming around in the lava, and then they switch to another loadout and take off their thermal suit.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that would happen to me at some point here. Now, let me see here. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. So, we have our thermal suit on. Let's go walking in lava. Wait, does this take me back out? Yes, it does.
Do you want access to a new area with the thermal suit?
Sure.
I can show you where one is. I'm not sure where you are currently because I'm looking at your stream. But in the middle of the abyss, as you cross from one side to the other, there's small areas to the left and the right, like tiny pools. And if you dive down in the tiny pool, you can reach a new area.
Okay. Tiny pools in there. I'll see if we can spot that. Okay, so, wait, I think I see it.
Yeah.
Alley-oop. Oop, didn't mean to jump that high. Swim, man, swim.
Let's see here.
We're going somewhere.
So it goes really deep straight down. Yeah.
Yeah, the mantle.
Ah, yes. Sounds
and
like
we just found a whole lot of
creatures.
Stuff. And I heard laughter, too. Laughter is never a good sign in these games. Let me see. There's the helm. We got the Helm of Lightning. Blood Helm. Any new swords? No? Still got our... I assume one other thing, if we do get that far, I should probably equip the... Where are you? The volcanic key. There we go. Oh. 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 Didn't even see that guy. It's hard to tell if I'm not seeing him because of the game. Oh no, he's a ghost.
I think, yeah, he's actually just a lot more difficult to see.
Bow of Pain. Let me see, what do we have here? There's another treasure chest way off in the distance. Is there any reason why this one is glowing? Is that the main one I have to go for? Oh yeah, the Chamber of the Heart. So that would be the goal of the game.
Yes, right.
I don't think we're going to get to that in this stream, but there is our... Oh,
yeah.
Hey, there's something... Uh-oh, I hear you. Dancing around. Ow! Oh, you fiend, you. Oh. I'm not even sure what got me there. I killed him, I thought. Let me pull this back up for a second. Huh. Should I have armor right now? Because it's not showing an armor update, even though no matter what I'm wearing. Oh wait, is the helmet for the armor? Oh yeah, that's right. So
yeah, the thermal suit takes up both your head and your chest.
Okay. Yeah, full body armor. So that would explain a whole lot there. There we go. Now that we actually have armor, I should be able to fight these things and not get killed. Oh.
Just don't accidentally wander into the lava.
I think I just got sniped in the back. Oh wait, well that could explain. I only have 3 health. How did that happen? Is it... Oh, there we go. Chest armor of pain. You really do have to read this stuff carefully. You'll be in some deep, deep trouble.
Oh yeah, you only 5 max health.
Yeah, that would explain a whole lot there. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, when you have 5 max health, it gives you a cry face as a rating for that stat. An emoticon cry face. Emoji cry face.
Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Okay. How do we want to equip this? Okay, there we go. Now let me back up and heal before they decide to come down and try and kill me. Okay, autosave.
Yeah, these creatures are definitely a lot stronger than the ones you encountered at the beginning of the game.
Yes. Okay, so there were two of them, and apparently his friend was sniping me as well.
Yep, sounds about right.
Oh no, my torch is out. Jeez.
Oh, by the way, you can attack with your torch also.
Huh. Gee. They were really coming for me there. Okay, what the... A Darkling apparently is here.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Think that may be trouble for me there. Let's back up but not go too far back because I know there's lava all the way in the distance here.
Yep.
Alright, that's it, buddy. Where are you? I am mad as heck and I'm not taking any more of this. Alright, where are you?
You can also just not worry about them and leave them be.
Aw, so close.
Aww. I watched you nail him with the Gatekeeper. Never saw it coming.
Jeez, they are all swarming me here. Oh! Wait, my cat...
Something about your cat dying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means you've died 9 times.
Good. Come on, you. Man, he is not dying.
Yeah, this is definitely a pretty high level area.
I hear something. Just hope there's nothing behind me. I think we got a whole lot of potions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These enemies aren't spawning back, right? They're just a whole lot of them?
Well, when you die, it reloads. And so anything that died since the last time it saved comes back to life, shall we say.
Alright, so... that could be very useful right now. Wrong thing. Chest armor. So we are finding upgrades to this gear. Okay, I think I've... hopefully have stabilized enough.
Looks like it.
Okay, there's something in here. We'll need the other key. Come on.
So since this is an area full of lava, you're like slowly melting, and so it's not a safe place to save. So the game won't save unless you equip your thermal suit.
Okay. Why am I doing so little damage now? Damage per second 5. Healing potion. Where is my other sword? Thought I had a two-handed sword, or is it? Oh no, they're back again. Well, ooh, they have to have swords and bows. Alright, but I think we are past the hour here, so I think we will wrap things up. I think I'm going to do, my last act will be a for glory run, see how far we can actually get in this place. Out of my way. Oh, so slow.
Yeah. Oh.
Jeez. And that would be more lava. Only one way to go. And this is where it's going to get very dangerous. Huh? We survived. The question is, how long?
You're definitely getting a lot. You're definitely getting the hang of combat.
I think we are dead, though.
Oh yeah, a lot of these creatures, I don't think that they will follow you into the lava. So, if you want to hide, you can go hide in the lava.
Oh, we're dead. It is a little hard to see, but again, I think we can also... Wait?
You can use the breathing tank.
Yeah, but I don't have it equipped to that.
You can open the equipment menu and equip it to the same slot with the thermal suit.
Apparently we are...
But yeah.
We made it to the chamber. The question is... Aha. Corrupted Ashbringer. We're so
yeah, that's
close.
a very powerful artifact.
Yes, it is. Lowers your health, but massive boost.
Yep.
Now, how do I get around this thing? Is this another illusion? Can't be. Am I approaching this from like the wrong side?
Yeah, so you actually can't get into that area from this side.
Aw, we're so close. Look at that.
It like taunts you. You can see it, but you can't get to it.
Man, how the hell do we...
But you can try and open it with a key.
Alright, let's see. Aw. And we certainly went the distance here trying to find it. Look at that. So there's... So we are close, but I think we will wrap it up here. Because again, we could... I think we're getting close to actually beating the game, or at least beating this world. I think we're like 75% through it. And hopefully when the game is done and you're a lot more of the procedural elements, there'll be a lot more variety and a lot more ways to explore.
Yeah.
Okay, before we say goodnight, for those of you watching this live, do you have any final questions for Jeremiah? And while we're waiting the 5-second delay for that, do you have any final thoughts or anything you would like to say, like anything we didn't touch on or anything we miss about Venture Forth?
I mean, I guess I will say you were able to get to the rear of the Chamber of the Heart, but I would say you're maybe close to half-ish way. There's a lot of other stuff that you'd have to go through first, but you have made it a pretty good ways, and kind of getting to the end of that, it rewards you with the Corrupted Ashbringer, which is definitely a really powerful item.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Alright. Well, I think with that, we are going to say goodnight. We did go over a little bit, but that's always the breaks when we're doing live stuff. So, again, if you'd like to check out Venture Forth, it is currently available on Steam. If you're watching this live or recently uploaded on YouTube, the game will still be in early access. we're hopefully going to see it finish in October, and then more work on the game post retail. And be sure to check out the podcast I did with Jeremiah. That will be going up most likely early to mid-October for the Perceptive podcast. And other than that, like I said, Jeremiah, hang on the Skype call for like a few seconds after. Just want to ask you a few things. For those of you watching this either live or recorded, thanks so much for tuning in. If you're a developer watching this who would also like to do a live play with me, be sure to send me a message. We always love to do these things. And of course, we're looking for new guests for the Perceptive Podcast, as well as Game Wisdom Live, our new weekly live show. So, with that said, Jeremiah, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Can't wait to see the rest of Venture Forth, and I wish you the best of luck with finishing the game.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So again, thanks for tuning in. We will see you, well, I will see you all next time with another video, whether it's streamed or here on the YouTube channel. And hopefully we'll be able to talk again real soon, Jeremiah.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, for you folks watching, thanks for tuning in, and have a great night. Take care. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, of course, share with your friends. It always helps out. Check out game-wisdom.com, where I examine the art and science of games. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter under GW Bycer for the latest updates of new content. And be sure to check out our Patreon campaign. You can find us on Patreon under Game Wisdom, if you would like to donate and help contribute to keeping Game Wisdom going. Your donations can not only give us the monthly funding we need to keep supporting ourselves, but if we can hit some goals, it will mean more great content for you, and there are some nifty little rewards there as well. Thanks for watching this video, and be sure to tune into the next one real soon.